I honestly feel like I am afraid of success, or I don't, or maybe I don't have enough patience for success. I don't know what it is exactly. I guess allow me to explain. I know for a fact that everyone starts in a different place in their life. And because they start in a different place in their life, that means that their success is going to be different. And everyone has a different version of what they deem success looks like and what success is. So some people feel like success is having a big mansion with big cars, and some people feel like success is being able to travel the world and see the whole world before they die. Some people feel like success is being in a healthy relationship and living that experience as long as they can, for as long as they're here on earth. Some people feel like success is having experiences with friends and family. So everybody's version of success looks different. Therefore, when it comes to success, I compare my success to other people's success who I feel like I would want, if that makes sense. So, for example, if I wanted to be a millionaire, I'm looking at other millionaires. If I wanted to travel the world, I'm looking at other people who travel. It's that kind of mindset. And once again, everyone starts in a different place in their life. Everyone becomes successful at a different age in their life. Everyone has different resources. It's almost like we're all in a race, but we all started at a different start line. We're all going to end at a different finish line. We're all born at a different time. We're all going to die at a different time. So obviously you can't compare success because it's not something that you can measure across the board. It's not generalized. I think what's hard for me is that I know for a fact that I am smart enough and I have all the resources. I'm not saying I'm a genius. I'm just saying that I know for a fact that I am capable of obtaining the things that I want in life. I know for a fact that I have the potential to be so great at anything that I want to put my mind to and genuinely put forth the effort in and try. I think where my success gets stunned at and where I become paralyzed at is because I strive for perfection, not realizing that perfection comes out of growth and it comes out of trial and error because no one knows how to do anything perfectly. The reason people look like they're perfect or they're able to do things repetitively and in an amazing way is because trial and error. They learn from their mistakes or they learn from the experience that they had in order to be better and to get better to do better. I think my issue that I have personally is that I have all these amazing thoughts in my head on what I could do, what I should do, what I might do, what might work, what might not work. And of course, the only way to know if it's going to work or not is to make an attempt, is to try. Because we cannot see the future. I can't see the future. I don't know what's going to happen next. I don't know if it's actually going to work or if it's not going to work. But then again, also understanding that just because you're doing it for an extended period of time doesn't mean that it's not going to work. It just might require a little bit more time than another route you could have taken. It's almost like the concept of having a handful of seeds, like flower seeds, and you plant them, and the flowers are going to grow at different times. And sometimes a flower might grow a little bit faster than the other flowers. Doesn't mean it grew successfully because it might stop at a certain point to where the other ones might take a little bit longer to grow, but they grow big and they grow strong and they grow healthy. It doesn't mean that one's better than the other. It just means that it all looks different depending on what kind of seed, what kind of flower you plant. But also the growth, part of the growth is determined on how much nurture you give it, how much time you get it, how much consistency you have with it, how much you feed it, how much you do for it, and depends on different variables like the sunlight and the environment. And I feel like that's how success is when it comes to um, the decisions that I want to make. I feel like I have to plant, I have to throw the seeds in the dirt. First of all, I have to be willing to start. I have to throw the seeds in the dirt, but then I have to I have to nurture all these ideas. I have to, instead of putting all my eggs in one basket, I have to try all these different directions, but also understand that some of them are going to take more time than others. And it doesn't mean that I failed or I'm not successful at it. It just means that I had to give it more time to see it through, to know or to get to a point where I know for a fact this isn't going to work. Because it's not what I want it to look like, and I've already dedicated so much time into doing it. I think part of it is that I'm afraid, what if it doesn't work out? What if I try and I'm not successful? What if I come up short? What if I don't make it? Therefore, if I'm going to spend the time doing it, because we're not allotted a lot of time on this earth, if I spend a lot of time doing it, what if it's a waste of time? Or what if it's time that could have been spent doing something else, but I won't know if it's a waste of time until I actually try. And upon trying, I have to start. And if I don't start, that means I don't try. If I don't try, I don't know if it's going to work. If I don't know if it's going to work, then I don't know if I'm ever going to be successful doing it, because I never planted that seed. And right now, I'm 31 years old. And what's an amazing concept to me is that there's people who don't finally become millionaires until they're 40 or in their 50s or their 60s. There's people who become millionaires in their early 20s or when they're teenagers, because they figured it out. They planted seeds faster than I did. And the difference between them and me is them simply throwing seeds in the dirt and seeing what grows and what doesn't. And I feel like the longer I wait to start, the more time I'm going to spend and regret the time that I spent not starting, instead of using that time to see what's going to work and what's not going to work. And it's not wasting time when you're actually making an attempt to try. It's wasting time when you don't try and you don't make an attempt. Because when you actually try and you spend that time trying, at least you know that's no longer an option, or at least you know that that might not be the route for you, or for me in this case. And I know all this because I'm saying it out loud, and I'm telling you all, it's just starting. I'm not necessarily worried about what other people might think. I'm not necessarily worried about what other people might say, because other people are in the same boat as me. They need to plant seeds to figure out what success looks like for them and what it feels like, and experience that for themselves. And once again, everybody's version of success is different. So some people might judge me based off, oh, that's not being successful, or that's not the route you should take, because that might not be what they choose to do. But I know for me, it might work. It might not work for them, but it might work for me. And when I say I know that I'm smart, I'm not comparing my intelligence to anyone else. I'm just saying, for me, I know that I have the capability to do it. I just need to do it. And I heard somebody say that when you compare to your success to other people's success, you're always going to come up short, or you're always going to be disappointed, because once again, we're all running different races. I just can't be afraid of, I won't call it failure. There's never a failure, always a lesson. But I can't be afraid of dedicating the time into trying something and accepting the fact that there's a good chance that this route might not be the one for me. It doesn't mean that I'm never going to be successful. It doesn't mean that I'm never going to accomplish what I want to accomplish in life. It just means that I might need to go down a different path or down a different direction. And that's okay, and that's fine. But at least I know that this one isn't for me. I need to try something new. But also give it reasonable time to be successful. And it could be me dedicating 3 years to it and then finally turning out fantastic. Or me dedicating 5 years to it and then I become the millionaire that I might want to be. Or maybe I dedicate it and be willing to dedicate 5 years, but maybe in 5 months, because I've grinded so hard, that I might become successful in 5 months, but I don't know until I try. And I think what sucks for the most part, I won't say what sucks, but what kind of is like a sense of discouragement, is like getting on social media and seeing people who have become successful in their own way and being like, man, I want that right now. And when that it's not immediate gratification. When that immediate outcome doesn't happen, it's like, I failed. Not realizing that all these people had to plant their seeds as well and see what grew and what didn't grow. Meaning, like, a lot of people see the seed planting and then they see the flower, but they don't see the process it took from start to finish. They just see this person started something and they were successful at it, but they didn't see the grind, they didn't see the hustle, they didn't see the time, they didn't see the effort, they didn't see the consistency. And I think I tend to forget that a lot of times when I try something new and that makes me give up, or it makes me um, choose a different path sooner than I should, because I feel like I'm not successful at what I was trying because I didn't see an immediate result, or I didn't see the results that I wanted to see. And I think that quote that you need to appreciate the journey while you're reaching your goal is imperative to remember, because you look back, remember it was just a seed, and now you see a little leaf, and then you see leaves, and then you see a flower, then you see it getting taller, you can see it getting longer. It's a process. Doesn't mean that nothing's happening. It just means that it's happening at its own pace. And that's progress. And that progress means that something's working, because you're seeing the progress. It could have stayed a seed and not grew at all, but you're seeing something grow out of the dirt and out of the seeds that you planted. That's growth. That's change. That means that something's working. And who knows, that growth and change, when you keep doing the things that you're doing to continue to have growth and change, it might happen faster and faster and faster, to the point where you're like, dang, this, I wasn't expecting it to happen like this. I was expecting to spend 2 more years or 3 more years for this to happen, but it happened now, and that's phenomenal. But I think keeping at it and not being afraid of it is the biggest part of it. And consistency just isn't enough, because you could do the same thing over and over again every single day and be bad at it. I think acknowledging what's working and what's not working is part of that consistency upon getting better. I know that I'm not the only one. And I know that because a lot of people are willing to be in a place of complacency, where they feel like they rather deal with the steady going. They rather work a consistent 9 to 5, knowing they got something to look forward to, knowing they got a paycheck coming in, rather than being willing to take a chance and being okay with the steady growth until they get to the point of where they want to be. And I'm not knocking the 9 to 5. I'm not saying 9 to 5s are bad. I'm just saying that some people are okay with being complacent. But I know for me, I want more out of life. I don't want to work my whole life. I don't want to work for somebody else. I don't want to spend. I feel like we're in life. You're either gonna have time, or you're gonna have money, and you're not gonna have both for a lot of people. And I want time and money. I want time to do what I want with my family and to enjoy the experience of life, but also want enough money to where we're comfortable and we're able to have these experiences and not have to stress about spending the time that we can't get back on the resource of money in order to enjoy the life that we have. And I don't feel like, for me, a regular 9 to 5 is going to accomplish that. And I don't know which path will accomplish that. And I'm not saying that 9 to 5 won't help. But what I am saying is that I feel like there's no other path that's available for me to take. I just have to plant the seeds to see what grows. But I think and I feel the most important part of that is to just simply start. And as of today, I threw some seeds, and we're going to see how this goes. So I will keep you all updated, and hopefully you all see the fruits of my labor. No pun intended. And yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I hope also it gives a different perspective for those of you out there who also have not started and will start. And keep in mind that it might not happen today, it might not happen tomorrow, it might not happen a year from now, but when it happens, it's going to be worth the labor, it's going to be worth the progress, it's going to be worth the stress, it's going to be worth the headache, it's going to be worth the consistency, it's going to be worth it. And I know for a fact that it will. It's just being okay with not seeing the progress that you want, but being okay with seeing progress. If you all enjoyed the video, please feel free to leave a thumbs up and subscribe. I appreciate you all. I appreciate the love and support. Follow me on TikTok if you haven't already. It's going to be Ryan's, RYANS _truth _ And then our Instagram is Delilah and Ryan, like the song Hey There Delilah. So Delilah and Ryan. The links will be down in the description. I hope you all have a great day, and thanks for watching.